God's Day, and welcome to Reed's Being Refined by the Fires. I'm Reed, and today we're going to interview Dr. J, aka Pastor Joe Connelly, who is a father of two. He has a pair, and grandfather of two, also a pair, and has been called the Bionic Man, as he's had more than 140 surgeries to repair and fix what's broken down while building up God's kingdom. He has a passion for many things, including the word, law, by getting justice for all, building up the community as a leader of a nonprofit, as well as hosting a study for African American self-evaluation group entrepreneurs. He owns a local law practice and enjoys regular guy stuff, like hanging out with his boys for a round of golf and being very intentional with who and where he lends his time. So, how are you really doing today, Dr. J?
First of all, welcome and thank you for inviting me to be on your show just to share bits and pieces of my life with others. And I'm doing great today. I really, really love life. It's been a rough 6 weeks. I've lost three friends.
Oh, wow.
Due to heart attacks and early death, unsuspected.
Wow.
I have a friend right now who's fighting for his life in the hospital and the ICU unit.
Wow.
And, when we look at those situations and we back away, we have to take stock of our own lives.
Yeah.
And that's the question. Am I doing what makes me happy? Am I doing what God is leading me to do? Or am I just doing something because I have to pay the bills?
Yep. That's true. And unfortunately, that's a lot of people's thought process. They just trying to get through the day.
Yes.
And any check will do. Yeah.
You're absolutely correct.
I'm sorry to hear about your friend. Was one of them the guy who was in that wreck and got his legs amputated?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh, wow.
He was a law school classmate, a great friend. And, I've had an opportunity to spend time with his wife and his family and other friends.
Mm-hmm.
And just to let you know that, the Law Center, the chancellor, everybody sends their prayers. We will be doing some type of GoFundMe account to help him out because he has a long haul to go with therapy, getting legs. The cost of medical care is just astronomical right now.
Yes. What was his name?
We're going to do whatever we can do to help as friends. So when we start that, I'd love to get the information to you. You could just let your audience know, hey, here's a way you can really help a family that's going through some hard stuff.
Okay. And what's your friend's name?
His name is Avril Sanders.
Averil Sanders?
Avril.
Okay. I sure will. Yeah. That's sad. But it could have been worse.
It could have been worse. Exactly.
It always could have been worse. No matter how bad the situation is, it could have always been worse. Because if you don't wake up on this side and wake up on the other side, yeah. Worse.
It's a wake up call.
Yep.
Okay. So that's how I'm doing today.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, and I will get that information to me, and I'll post it however I can, and I'll donate or do whatever else I can do. Yeah.
Okay. We'll really appreciate that.
No problem. Okay, let me pray us in before we get into our interview. Heavenly Father, we come to you today asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support as we begin this month's podcast interview with my brother in Christ and friend, Dr. J. Help us engage in meaningful discussion, allowing it to fall on fertile ground. Allow my listeners to see and hear that in spite of their problems and troubles that we often face in this world, that is no reason to stop believing, praying, and casting all our cares on you. Give us the right words to say to capture people's attention, and I pray that they are led to share this interview with whoever they believe could also benefit from something they learned or was amused by, aka edutainment. My little gift of being both educated and entertained. These are our prayers through Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
Amen.
Yeah. Well, Dr. J, you've worn many hats.
Yes.
Husband, father, attorney, pastor for nearly 4 decades, leader of a nonprofit ministry, and the host of a self-evaluation studies for African American entrepreneurs. Can you please share the cliff notes, because I know we short on time, of each of those hats and something memorable that happened that God has allowed you to experience that you'll never forget from each of those areas?
Yeah. Well, when you put it down on paper and you call it like that,
I know it's hard.
Stand back and say, wow, you don't realize what all you're doing.
I know.
Brings it to your attention. You know.
I did the same thing with Pastor Fred, and he was blown away when he heard his list of accomplishments. I'm like, well, I researched. So
yeah. I think I'll start with the ministry, the pastoring.
Okay.
And there I was able to sit in many seats and wear many hats.
Okay.
To be blessed by others, but also to bless others and what God has given me. I came out of the military. I was called to ministry while I was in the military.
Mm-hmm.
There were events in the military, helicopter crash, and other things that I was able to just sit back. And one, thank God for deliverance, but two, also begin to analyze and discern where I was to spend my life. What was I supposed to do? So I left the military. I went to seminary in Atlanta. And after that, 1 year, we had our son who was born. And so we had to make some shifts. At that time, I was in school and working part-time. And my wife was working full-time. So when the son came, we switched roles. She wanted to stay home to raise them, which means now I had to go find a full-time job to take care of the family. And I put the seminary on hold.
Yeah.
Did that. Time passed by. We were able to then switch back around, and I was able to leave the job that I was on and go to seminary in Dallas. We were able to do that in 3 years, pastoring a new church. We started a new church, the Methodist Church, while we were in seminary. And financially, we were able to make it with money for the church, the new church start, to do those things. Mm-hmm. That connection, though, in doing that, I met Reverend Masters, who was a district superintendent.
Okay.
And he invited me to come to Dallas when I was going to SMU, Southern Methodist University, for seminary. And he says, look, if you get here, I got a lot that you can do. So one of the things that I did, he asked me to start a new church. So I told him, I don't know how to start a new church. I'm just now coming to the Methodist Church. So we talked about my background and what I had done. I'd helped launch and keep in place and strategize and build a business plan for businesses across the Midwestern U.S. Mm-hmm. He says, use that as an example, because what we're doing in our Methodist churches right now is not working.
Wow.
And so that's what I did. I used the business principles, and I just flipped them to make them Christian principles that we could use in the ministry. Yeah. For example, in corporate America, we had MBWA, which stood for Management by Walking Around. Mm-hmm. The high-level manager would leave their offices and come and walk the floor. Okay? Well, I shifted that and made it Ministry by Walking Around. And in doing that, I set in place opportunities and a process for pastors and church staff to leave the comfort of their offices and to get out in the community. There were certain questions they would ask. There was things that they would look at and analyze to bring back. They then get a new vision of the community, and then how the church would be able to assist and help in what was going on.
Wow.
That was memorable, and watching that take
that was
place
smart.
Across America, thank you. But we're able to see it across the United States working and taking place, you know.
Yeah, because if it's something that's working in the world, it could definitely work in the church.
Exactly. And it worked. We ended up starting a new church while I was in seminary. That church was Jubilee. We were able to purchase 7 acres of land, a 2-story Baptist church, and had a multi-purpose center with it. It had a parsonage with it that sit on land, and it was a great ministry. For years, we had other ministers come through there. We had people who answered their call to ministry at Jubilee. We had a lot of different ministries, and I also learned how to be a more effective minister by being there with the crowd, the congregation, the friends, and the family.
Wow. So was Jubilee a Methodist or a Baptist church?
Yes. No, it was a Methodist church. It was Jubilee United Methodist Church.
Okay.
Now, law. If we look at the law aspect, a lot of folks ask me, why did I go into law? When I was in law school, I didn't go till I was 50 years of age, and I started law school. The Veterans Administration told me I had, educational benefits.
Yeah.
So we were able to use those. Being an older person in law school, my house became the hangout house. We did food there. We did studies there. It was a safe zone.
Yeah.
And I still have a lot of friends to this day that I met in law school. A lot of the professors are friends. Now we're colleagues in ministry together.
Wow. Talk about a turnaround.
Yeah, but it was an awesome experience, because when I began to look at law, I also began to share with churches things that they would need to do.
Hello?
For changing.
Pastor.
We're able to do that. We're able to help churches understand the strategic planning aspect from a corporate perspective to how they need to do their strategic plans as local congregations.
Yes.
And then the legal aspect of getting land donated to nonprofits from municipalities.
Wow. So using the world's systems like they use Christian principles.
Right, exactly.
Wow. Okay. I thought you went to law school first as a young man. I had no idea you had been in the military. What branch were you in?
I was in the Army.
Okay.
Yeah, got injured. Came out. I am now a 100% disabled veteran.
Wow.
And I help as many veterans as I can, understanding and navigating the medical system, the veterans disability system, as well as helping some to do local things. Local law that they need to adhere to. So I help a lot of veterans with that.
Yeah.
And it's a give back, is what it is.
Yeah, my dad was doing the same thing because he had a stroke, a massive heart attack a few years back. Well, this was when I had my third child, so it was more than a few years back. It was almost 30 years ago. But he had a massive heart attack, and after he got better and went through rehab and everything, he started going, because he was in the Army in Korea, and he started going to the Veterans Hospital in Houston, and he helped the other vets get their paperwork done to get their benefits. So that was his way of giving back. Yeah, he's a volunteer.
Right.
Yeah. Wow. Small world.
Oh, yes.
Okay, and so that's the pastor and the attorney. What about the nonprofit?
The nonprofits are every church that I pastored. We set up nonprofits. I would help. My sister would help me also. We'd set up nonprofits across the United States for community groups and organizations. We start them from ground zero, and then we help them also do the same thing. Look at their community, analyze the community. How can they serve their community? What's needed in their community? And you get the community voices to begin to tell you that. Then you can be able to shape what the nonprofit is going to do. We've done housing initiatives. We've done educational initiatives. We've done cleanup initiatives. Right now, the nonprofit, we're looking to do housing initiatives for home ownership in the African American and Hispanic community.
Yeah,
we're mainly renters. We're not owners.
Yeah.
So educating and changing that
to become
providing
owners.
the mortgages.
Yeah.
Those are things that we're doing. And the nonprofit is able to get government grants, state grants, local grants, foundation grants, trusts. They can get funds to help and don't have to pay those funds back.
So wait, grants and trusts don't have to be paid back?
That's right. It's a grant.
So
it's a gift.
Okay, so but I thought a trust was something that you left to like your after you pass away. You
can also, out of your trust, you can have designated funds to go to a nonprofit if you want.
Okay, but you could go and apply for a trust?
Yeah, you can anybody can start a trust if they have something to put in the trust.
Okay, no, I'm saying to finance if you started a nonprofit, you couldn't go and apply for a trust.
What do you mean apply for a trust?
The only kind of trust that I know of is where people, when they die, they leave their loved ones stuff.
Their assets.
Yeah, assets.
And that's misnomer. It's not only their loved ones. It's whoever they put.
Okay.
In the paperwork.
Okay.
That any proceeds could go to.
Yeah, because I've heard of people leaving their money to pets, or like a place that has pet care. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Live and learn.
So we train churches how to write the proposals, how to do their basic grant research. How you then report your money. So we do, show them about the 990s and all those sort of type things.
Wow.
That'd be a session all by itself in doing that.
Yeah. Okay, and what about the entrepreneur group you got? The self-evaluation studies for African American entrepreneurs. What is that about?
Well, I'm a part of a group. I didn't start it. I've been part of groups that I've started. This particular group started. It's called the Black Wealth Academy. It was started by Mr. Dante Lee. And we're meeting on Thursdays with entrepreneurs. We do a Zoom, and it's where they call in. We talk about issues that they've come across in business. We deal with that in small groups. Then there's always a business an entrepreneur business that gets highlighted, let's say.
Yeah.
This past week.
Hello?
Been around for a long time, but we were able to share what Legal Shield is, how they can help, how individuals can get involved and become members of the Legal Shield groups.
Okay.
Things like that. And so, you have my number. You may put it out if anyone wants information about Legal Shield, having an attorney as a representative for them, and you pay a smaller amount for certain services. We can set those things up. Okay. Also, the group is designed to help individuals who want to start their own business. Okay. Because it's a lonely place to go out there and start your own business.
Tell me about it.
We provide, we provide the assets of connectivity, the resource networking, information sharing. Sometimes you just need a shoulder to cry on.
Yeah.
When you're out there, we provide all of that. And then as we grow, our goal is to be able to take it and move it deeper. There's another part. It's called Black News. That's a website that Mr. Dante Lee has secured. And again, it's information and news that's in particular pertains to Black African American entrepreneurs.
Okay.
We will be having a book study that I'm going to be adding to our activities. We haven't figured out yet what day of the week it's going to be, but the book study is designed for us to only read no more than 10 pages a week.
As a group?
The first book we're going to use, that study is called Destiny by T.D. Jakes. After that, we're going to be reading the book Disruptive Thinking by T.D. Jakes.
Okay.
And so these books are designed not for us just to read and get through a book. Who can read the fastest? No. Yeah. It's about retention and application.
So you read the books on the Zoom together?
Yeah. Yes. You'll read the book at home, before that.
Okay.
And then when you come to the Zoom, we'll be able to talk about what you learned from those 10 pages.
Okay.
Out of that, what do we take that we can apply to our own lives?
Okay.
You see, and so it's designed that everybody gets to participate in some capacity.
Okay.
As the facilitator of the group, I'm not there to do all the reading, and then folks just sit there and suck up, like a sponge, and do nothing.
Yeah.
No, they gotta give in.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I love to read, so I'll be on it because I want to join. I can use all the help that I can get.
Right. All right. I'll be talking to the group this week.
Okay.
And I just have to look at my schedule, and it's hard to get something that everybody can attend. So we make sacrifices, and we're looking probably like a Monday, Tuesday, or a Thursday.
Okay.
Because Wednesdays, a lot of folks already have, Bible study they're going to, or midweek worship. So we're not going to interfere with that. It might interfere with some people's football games on Monday, but I say those checks are written to those players. Nobody knows me, and I always pay to go see them.
Yeah.
Which means I got to find a way to make the money in order to be able to buy a ticket.
Exactly.
Okay?
So they got their you got to make the money first before you can go and buy a ticket. And the way you gonna make your money, you need to be in this class.
And it's how to not just make your money, but also make your money work for you.
Exactly. And that's what I want to learn to do. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So what role has sharpened you the most as a Christian and why? Husband, the head of the household, father, guide and provider, attorney, argue cases in courtroom, pastor, preach countless sermons from the pulpit, leader, nonprofit, host of the study group.
Okay, which role
has sharpened you the most
as a Christian?
Yes.
Okay, I'm reading the question to get my understanding of the true context. Because I don't think there's just one role. However, I would have to say it's the husband,
okay,
the head of the household, but also the father. So I'm going to say the role is going to be the father that sharpened me the most.
Okay. As a guide and provider.
As father, I got a deeper understanding of the role of God as father. In that father, you are a protector.
Yes.
You are a provider.
Yes.
You are a listening ear.
Yes.
There are times as a father you become the disciplinarian. There are times as a father you are the jokester.
Yeah.
You provide the laughs for everybody. At the end of the day, though, you have to be one that puts food on the table, clothes on their back, shoes on their feet, and provides safety for your family. So in all of the other roles, they feed into helping me be a better father.
Yes. Yes. Exactly. Nailed it.
Yeah.
That's a heavy role. Yes. To be a good dad. I mean, y'all do a lot. Yes. Women do a lot too, but y'all have way more responsibility because we just have to carry the baby, and once he get here, you know, yes, the father can help take care of it. But I feel sorry for single mothers. Yes. Because they have to do it all by themselves.
Yeah, but I would ask, even as single mothers, and I've spoken with several single mothers, some are single by circumstances beyond their control, death, divorce.
Yeah.
Some are single because they chose to be single.
Yeah.
From the very beginning, all they wanted to do was to be a mother.
Yeah.
They did not want to be married.
Yeah.
They only wanted to be a mother. So that's why they're single, and they celebrate their single mothers.
And see, I don't get that. I've never wanted to be a single mom. I've always wanted kids, and I have the amount of kids that I wanted, but I have 3 girls and 1 boy. I said I wanted 2 girls and 2 boys, but you don't get to choose. But anyway, but I never wanted to be a single mom with 4 kids.
Right.
That would change everything. I mean, because being a single parent is hard. Because when I got divorced from my second husband, and I'm on number 3 now, don't judge.
I'm not judging.
Because I'm with my person, my God-ordained person that God created just for me. But that would have changed had I been single. However many kids I had, and I saw that it wasn't going to work out, that I wasn't going to get married, I probably would have just had 1 kid. Unless it was a twin, or I would have had to have quadruplets in one take. I wouldn't keep going. Because it's like, no. That's hard. Because like I say, men are built to take on more than that. And women can say, yeah, we're strong. We able to carry babies and bring them here. And because Lord knows, mankind would have ceased to exist long time ago if men had to do the carrying and the birthing of babies.
Yeah, I believe so.
But we get it done. But that's it. That's it. We're caretakers of the home.
Yes.
And of our families. But the rest of it, that's man work. I've even seen lately, like, women out doing construction jobs.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, that was man's work. I mean, don't come after me, feminists. If that's what you do, if that's what you choose, and you know, it's good that if that's what they want to do, that they can now get those jobs. Because if under my understanding, at one point you couldn't, if you wanted to play football or go get a construction job. The world wasn't set up like that then. But now they even have girl football players. My daughter have a female football team at her school.
Yep. Oh yeah, all over.
I'm like, wow, times have changed. Because in my day, we didn't want nothing to do with no football. We'd be a cheerleader and dance on the field, or be in the band, but getting hit, no.
Not beyond that.
No. Yeah. Okay, so number 3. After 38 years of your pastoral ministry, what's one lesson about people you learned that law school never could have taught you?
One lesson, because we've got a couple different questions in there.
In your ministry of 38 years, what have you learned about people that law school never taught you?
I think after 38 years of ministry and pastoring included in there, what I've learned about people, regardless of where a person is in that station of life.
Yes.
Black, white, Asian, Pacific Islander, tall, short, skinny, obese, all of that mess. When you get down to the part that that person is hurting at the depths of their soul and their heart is crushed because something's happened to them external that they have no control over, they don't care if you're a black pastor at an all-white church. They don't care if you have to go to the oversized, tall, big man section in the mall to get your clothes. They don't care about that. All they're looking for is, can you meet them at the moment and time of their need?
Exactly.
They have.
Help. Can you help me?
Yes.
I don't care. Because that's like the back in the Bible, like the Samaritan who stopped and helped that guy who the people had beat up on the side of the street and left for dead.
Right.
The Samaritan, who wasn't supposed to be, other people, other races didn't mess with Samaritans back then. But a Samaritan stopped and helped this guy. And
let me make it even clearer to you what I've shared with my congregation and I've shared with various groups that I'm with. You claim to call yourself a Christian. Also, if, let's say, I am Q or an Alpha or a Masonic Lodge, whatever, I'm connected with those groups, okay? And I'm riding down the highway and I see a truck off on the side of the interstate on the side, and there's a man out there and he's giving me, he's not just me, but he's giving off certain signs that I see, and I'm required to render aid because of my commitment to the organization and my commitment to the brothers in that organization. And I pull closer, I get behind him, and I see that there's another man in the ditch. And that man in the ditch has on a sheet. I see beside of him a hood with two eyes out of it. And I smell smoke off of their clothing. There's smoke off of that sheet. I look in the trunk of the car, the bed of the truck, and there is a small cross that's still burning and smoking. I know in my mind, I know mentally, I know physically at that moment what I see, what I smell. And if I was not connected and I did not call myself a Christian, then I would get in my truck and I'd haul my butt away. But because I have a calling that is beyond my present circumstance, I'm sorry for sounding like a preacher. I just get excited.
You are a preacher.
but when I see that, I am compelled by my commitment to God. I am compelled by my commitment to the organizational values and morals that I signed my name of the God line for, to render aid to that man. If I reach my hand in that ditch and that man takes my hand, I'm to pull him up. But even deeper than that, reverse the roles. I'm a black man in the ditch and a white man comes up and he looks at me. And before he gets there, my eyes have been hurt because of the damage from the wreck. But I can smell the burning clothing. I can smell the smoke off his clothes. And I can barely open my eyes. But I squint and I see this man still has on a white sheet. Am I going to reach my hand out so this man can take my hand and pull me out of the ditch? Or am I going to keep my tail in the ditch because I don't want help from him?
You gonna take his hand and pull yourself up out the ditch. God didn't send him that for. Look, God did not send. That's like the old saying where I heard the story about during the flood, I think it was before Katrina, that it was this woman that was on the house, and she had prayed to God, God help me, God help me. And she was waiting. People was coming by in their boats, and they was like, ma'am, you need help? She was like, no, God got it. I already called God. He coming. And it's like, really? So another boat come by. Ma'am, we need help. You know, and everybody come by. It's like, and she turned them down. It's like, okay, by the time the third boat passed, you would have thought she was like, yeah, I need help. She didn't realize that God was sending them to help her.
Exactly.
Sometimes we so focused and just so narrow-minded and just see things we got blinders on. It's like, no, you got to see the big picture. God He used people to help people. He ain't coming out the sky no more.
Nope.
Them days over. People are, that's why he made us. We're supposed to help our brothers and sisters.
Exactly. And it requires us to make a sacrifice.
Yeah.
It requires that receiver to make a sacrifice, which if we had that going more in our country right now, instead of the spew of hate, the spew of ostracism, the spew of negativity. If we had more love being shown, more brotherhood, sisterhood being shown, we would have a different world right now, because hate and love cannot stand in the same place.
Light and darkness cannot exist.
Cannot exist in the same place.
Yeah. Light cast out darkness. Yeah.
Okay, I got about 15 more minutes.
Okay.
So we have to do a day 2 on this.
Okay. You've lived through many different seasons of service, from the courtroom, from the military service. I didn't know about that. The military service, the courtroom, the pulpit, the nonprofit, and the study group. Can you please share one story from each of those careers that still fuels your fire for the ministry today? Or you don't have to, just pick one.
Let's see. Well, I mean, there's several different ones, because in the courtroom, I can go back to a specific time.
Okay.
I was here in New Orleans, and I had a call from a guy asked me if I would go with him out to Laplace this day, just to go there and see the courtroom I had operated. And I said yes. And I go there, and I look around, and I'm the only African-American lawyer in the room at that time.
Wow.
There's over 100 people in there for court. The majority of those, I would say 98%, were young black men. And I said to myself, okay, God, I preach and I teach. To whom much is given,
yes,
much is required.
Yes.
That we are blessed to be a blessing.
Yes.
That greater is he that is within me than he that is in the world. So God, you are showing me right now that you have blessed me. You have provided for me to be able to give back, to work, and to serve.
Yeah.
And so, yes, God, I will do it from this day forward. And that's when I set up my law practice.
Wow.
And God had to show me there's a need for what you have.
Yes.
All right?
Yeah.
I still see that judge this day. The people in the court system at the various jurisdictions I go, they know who I am when I walk in the courtroom, when I walk in the building.
Yeah.
Okay? And there's a feeling that I know I'm doing what God has called me to do and equipped me to do.
Yes.
Okay?
Wow.
So that's what happened in the courtroom. In the nonprofit world, it's a different world. But I would say over 25, 30 years ago, my sister and I started learning and doing our first nonprofits.
Okay.
We began to train and assist and help folks across the country.
What made you get into nonprofits?
The need for building a church. I was in Dallas.
Okay.
At Southern Methodist University to go to seminary. Reverend Masters, I mentioned earlier, asked me to come and to start a church. Well, all they had was $6,000 to start the church. I didn't know that there could be more money.
Wow.
So we started the church with $6,000. Now, that included salary.
Huh?
So I knew if we're going to make it, we got to get money to
exactly.
do stuff. We got to get it fast. Well, I'll mention her name, Sally Varner. Sally was the church secretary, but she was more like an executive assistant. Our families became real good friends. So Sally and I started researching nonprofits. This is back in 1992, 93.
Okay.
Started researching nonprofits and grants and stuff. We taught ourselves by going to the library, looking and reading and processing. We did our first grant, and it was to do a job development program. That grant was denied, didn't get approved by Department of Social Services.
Yeah.
Well, the guy, the leader of that team, I'll say, he sent a letter about a week later, and he said, I really like the program you guys are trying to do. I need you to research more in your area and connect with local businesses and get them to sign a letter of agreement. Here's $75,000 to assist in making that happen.
Wow.
We put 3 people, including myself, to work. We had money to pay us. We rented space from the church for our office space and meeting space. For a year, we did the research. We got 26 businesses to sign on letters of intent, letters of participation, that they would take any graduate from our program and give them the ability and to apply for a job, and they would get a point system like the government did it. They would get 10 points just from coming from our job training program.
Wow.
So he told us to reapply. We reapplied that second year with all this new data. We got approved for $250,000 for 3 years.
Wow. On your second attempt.
You tell me we did not shout. We did not give God some praise, some glory, and some honor. Because without God giving us the strength and the ability to pray and to learn and to do, we would have never got that 250. But greater than that, all the nonprofits that we have started, trained, worked with, I mean hundreds over the last 30 years, would not have had the ability to be in our midst.
Wow. That's some serious change there.
Well, yes, most definitely.
$250,000?
Yeah.
Wow. Can you share how many surgeries you've had, including the one that you had in October?
Well, yeah.
And how has living with physical hardships and enduring that many surgeries shaped the way you both view suffering, God's suffering, and grace?
I've had, probably 35 to 40 major surgeries.
Okay.
I remember in 2010, 2011, I was faced with MRSA, which is a multiple staph resistant RLS. It's like a lot of folks are dead within 72 to 96 hours of being diagnosed with MRSA. It's a staph infection that hits your body and shuts your body's organs down.
Wow.
I had a knee replacement and was diagnosed with MRSA. And as a matter of fact, I diagnosed myself. I took myself to the hospital because I had some symptoms before of infection, so I kind of knew what was going on. And that was in Baton Rouge. And thank God, I'm not going to call names because I can't remember all of them, but the doctors, the staff, I had a church member who was CFO of the hospital. I called her. She was able to make a call in. I think that call is what was able to save my life. The ability of them to be there. I had an infectious disease doctor on file there.
Wow.
There was an orthopedic doctor that was there at that time. And because of them, and because of the nurses and the staff that was there, I was able to make things happen with them. And then as they took everything out, we had to restart over again. So for those who haven't had the knee issues, you know, what they do is they take all the metal out that's in your leg, and they restart you over. They put in what's called an external fixator. Okay. And for those who are listening, you can look up an external fixator. Mine was about 3.5 feet long. It attached in my thigh, and then the other piece of 2 screws in the thigh. Then the other 2 screws were down in my shin bone. And then outside of that, what happened is that's where that connected my legs together, because where the knee replacement had taken place, all metal was removed. There was nothing holding the leg together but that external fixator. How do you deal with it? At that same time, I went and took the LSAT. Unstudied. I wanted to see what it was like, to see, you know, how I would need to change things to study a year later to make it. When I got my score back, I had scored enough to get into law school. And I started law school.
Hold on. In the middle of you. Oh my God. In the middle of dealing with a major life-threatening illness, you applied for the LSAT?
And went and took it and passed it.
You are amazing. Who does that?
It's just my faith was such. And I needed something to keep me going, to keep me challenging. I think a lot of folks, what happens to us, we could fight a lot more if there were challenges that we were facing and dealing with. A lot of times we'll have a sickness or an illness and we give up. We think that we can't challenge our minds. We can't do. No, you are a whole body. It's mind, body, soul, the person. Yeah. Everything about you has to continue to do what it does.
Yeah.
I've never given up over the years. All the surgeries, all the things that have gone wrong. I've had multiple car wrecks. None my fault, thank God. I've been a passenger in several. One of them took my right arm almost completely off, and I had to be cut out of the back years ago. Had to be cut out of the car with the jaws of life.
Wow.
I stayed in the hospital for a week, my ex-wife and myself, and then I drove with an arm in a cast over the weekend just to be here in New Orleans, open up a store. That I had that commitment from the company that I would be there, and I did that. And then we had multiple surgeries.
And they knew you had been in a wreck like that?
Yes, but I told them I'd be there. Don't worry about it.
Wow.
There's a spirit inside of me. That's a spirit of not giving up. And I go back to put it in a religious statement. When Christ was going up and was walking up with that cross on his beaten back, that was torn apart, having those crown of thorns. I mean, all that stuff you think about. He didn't give up.
No, he didn't. He kept on going.
When he was too weak to make it, that's what they called Simon of Cyrene. Hey, you, come here.
Yeah, they help him carry it.
Well, I have Simons, male and female, in my life. And when I get too weak to make it, they will come and they will help me out. They will make sure that I am nursed back to wholeness.
Wow.
And there's an amazing thing that happens when people connect on a different level.
Yeah.
And that goes for family.
Yeah.
Had it not been for my sister, I tell folks in a heartbeat, I would be dead.
Wow.
And I have no doubt in my mind about that.
Wow. Whew. That's a mouthful.
Oh, yes.
having a not giving up spirit.
Right.
And a lot of people give up too soon. That's why, and it's like a lot of people, when I say I have a podcast, I've always been a go-getter. Everything is like, no. It's no such thing as nothing I can't do. Right. I'll find a way. And when most people who know what I've gone through know that I'm doing a podcast now, they wondering like, how is she able to do a podcast? And but like this keeps me going.
Exactly.
This keeps me going. I feel like I'm doing this in honor of God. He put this on my heart. He gave me this. He's allowing me to do this, and there's nothing that I can't do. Right. Because I asked Pastor Fred, the pastor of New Orleans, and it's like, how am I getting these famous people? But it's like, you know what? People are interconnected, and people are supposed to help other people. God ain't coming out the sky no more.
But let me change one thing about it. I'm not famous. I'm a servant.
Yes. Well, he don't consider himself famous either.
Right. People know me because of my spirit of servanthood.
Yep.
And I don't care who people are. I've been as far as the White House. I've been to the United Nations.
Yep.
I've been in multiple countries, and I'm going to be who God made me.
Yeah.
And so when I'm there, we've had conversations. I don't care if it's the janitor. I don't care if you're the president of the country. I can communicate with both of you because it's about our life struggle and respect.
Yes, as people.
You got it.
That's respect. The common denominator. I don't care what your title is, what your color is, what your sex is, what your race is. We're people.
Right.
Wow.
You got it. And so, that's how we make a better country. Hatred and racism, that is taught.
Yeah.
And
unfortunately.
I'm going to say it, and folks can be mad if they want. It is taught out of ignorance.
Yeah.
And that's all. And all ignorance is, it's not knowing.
Yeah.
I was raised and born around racist folks.
Mm-hmm.
And I never gave up.
Yeah.
I graduated high school from this particular place in North Carolina in 1980.
Mm-hmm.
That's 45 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I am the only black attorney out of my high school. Yes, 45 years. We were bused 26 miles one way to the school. There were 27 blacks in my high school class. We were all family. Well, at 16, you could drive a school bus in the mountains of North Carolina. So I'm like, well, shoot, if I got to be bused there and somebody else can drive me and get paid, why can't I drive the bus and get paid? So I got two of my friends. We went and did the bus driver class, passed the class, passed the driving test, and I drove the route.
At 16?
At 16. And then
I thought you had to be 18.
We gained the test in North Carolina at 16 for what is now in the military called delayed entry. It was called simultaneous membership. We were in summertime. We were at regular Army training, Fort Jackson, Fort Benning, and around different places. In the school year, we were with National Guard units, and we got paid. It was called simultaneous membership. So we were simultaneously in high school and in the National Guard or regular Army.
Wow, and now that's called, what is it?
Delayed entry program.
No, what's the initials? ROTC.
Well, ROTC is Reserve Officer Training Corps.
Okay.
That happens in high school. You have junior ROTC, then you have senior ROTC, then you have college. I did all that also.
Okay.
So when I was in college, I got to skip the 2 years of ROTC college because I already had ROTC and military experience from National Guard and ROTC in high school. So at 19, I got my commission as an officer in the National Guard.
Wow.
Second lieutenant.
So how long were you?
Very old for my age.
So how long were you? Yeah, you did a lot. You lived several lifetimes. So how long were you in the National Guard?
I was in the National Guard all the way up from 1979 to 1983. Then I went on active duty, and then from active duty, I got injured. Getting ready to go in Nicaragua, Sandinistas with we were dealing with Noriega and that drug war thing.
Okay. Wow.
Yep.
Well, so I'm flabbergasted. I'm having to look back at my script. Now we're getting into the entertaining and relatable part of the interview.
Okay.
So, after decades of working in a variety of settings, do you have a funny or lighthearted memory from the many ventures that God has allowed you to experience that still make you laugh today?
I think it's got to be when I first started using, this is years ago, the GPS.
Uh-huh.
And I was in New York, and I was going to this location for this nonprofit to do the interview and the question with them.
Uh-huh.
I had the address in GPS, and I just started going around and around and around in circles. And I'm like, where is this thing taking me? And I did not realize then that the tall buildings were blocking the GPS signal.
Oh, wow.
Here I am going around and around and around.
You're like, where is it?
Yeah.
Did it say, look, did it say you have arrived at your destination?
And just going around in circles. And I didn't realize that because the buildings were so tall, they were blocking the signal.
Wow.
That the signal was stuck back at the first place that it picked up at. So,
oh, wow.
It got so funny that I had to start laughing at myself. I'm like, wow, I did not know that, you know.
That's and I've never told people in New York can't use their GPS to get to places within the city.
No, because
wow.
Of the time. Yep.
Wow, I'd never thought of that.
Yeah, and it's just like, here I am going around, and I was late for the interview because I'm going around and around and around and around in circles.
Oh my God! So did you finally make it?
I finally did. I had to turn the GPS off and ask a police officer who I saw on the street.
Wow.
Where do I go? And I just happened to be like a block away from the place.
It makes me mad when it'll say you have arrived at your destination, and I'm like looking around. It's like the address.
I don't
see anything. And then it'll be a couple of houses down. It's like what? Or a couple of businesses down. I hate that.
Yep. Exactly.
Wow.
But, there's some other things, but that one sticks out because it was also a learning piece at the same time. I had just started. This was years ago. I just started using GPS at that time.
Do you know what they say GPS stands for?
No, what is that?
God's positioning system.
Oh, okay.
Yep. So, but no, what were you saying?
No, so that was it. There was other story, but that's the main one because it was a learning. It became a learning process also.
Yes.
And even I took it and I used it as part of the workshop material there. That sometimes we can get so weighed down that our signals can't get out.
Yep.
There's so much junk around us that's blocking or it's confusing the signals that we're sending out.
Yes.
And so I just began what I learned from them is if you start looking at everything around you, there's a teaching piece for everything that we endure and that we experience.
Wow. I'm experiencing that now too. My with my desk area, my work area is cluttered and it's driving me crazy. I can't even work at my desk. It's so cluttered, and I just feel stuck because I know I need to throw stuff away, but I can't. I cannot. So I'm my own worst enemy because I keep thinking I'm going to need that later, so I won't throw it away. But then it's cluttering everything up. So Alex is like, my husband is like, Ree, you need to clean your desk up so you can work it. Because I had started working at the island in the kitchen. And I even store stuff on the kitchen table. He like, look, you going too far. Your desk is enough. If you can't keep that area messy, don't bring that over to the island and the kitchen table.
Don't come in here with this stuff.
Woo, it's out of control. Yep. So, okay. And number 9, when you look back over your journey, have you experienced moments of feeling downtrodden or forgotten? And on that same note, are there moments where you think only God could have written my story the way he did? Which brings moments like this to mind?
I think it's got to be just the various surgeries of resurgery where they had to go back and fix, like this last surgery. They had to go back and fix an area that they had already worked on. So sometimes when you have surgery, it's to correct an issue, but then that issue they corrected has to go back and it has to be corrected. And what I've just started doing again is just looking at life situations and trying to figure where I am in life and how they we can learn from them, how I learn from them, what needs to be fixed. And sometimes we think we got an issue solved, but our process for solving the issue causes another issue that has to be solved.
Exactly. Like a few years ago, I broke my ankle. I had never fallen before. And I was on vacation in Houston visiting. I was staying with my best friend and went to help her sister set up a school, her new school. So I was upstairs. I remember in middle school, I worked in the library. So I told her I'd help her set up the library. So the library was upstairs and we were getting ready to leave. So I was on my way downstairs, missed one step, and broke my ankle and had to have surgery. Well, I was trying to get up, and every time I got up, it was like it wouldn't catch. It was just like I had literally broke in half. I had to have a clip put in it. So, and then that was like years ago. So one year, it was a storm. We were getting ready to evacuate and go back up to Houston. That's normally where we go when we evacuate. We were going back up there for the evacuation a few years, and I mean, it was healed and everything, and I didn't feel it. I still had the scar from the surgery. But on my way, I went to check the mail, and on the way back from the mailbox, I slipped and fell in the grass, and I could feel that screw. So I was limping. I limped all the way back to the house, and when we evacuated, I was limping the whole time we were in Houston, and I was like, I can't, and my husband asked me, why are you walking like, I'm like, I slipped and fell on the way back from the mailbox, and now I can feel the screw inside my leg that's, it's rubbing, and it's bothering me.
It ain't working right.
No. So, like you say, once you have one thing fixed, something happens, and then you got to go have it. So I had to go have another surgery when we got back home, and I had to have the screw removed.
Wow.
Yes. So I had originally the surgery was, and I had been bragging like I'm 50-something years old and then I was thinking I was in my 40s. I'm 40-something years old and ain't never had no broken bones. Be careful what you say.
Exactly, because it will definitely come back around.
Exactly. But look how long it took. But it happened. So it's like, don't be claiming, don't be bragging, saying, I ain't never had no broken bones.
Exactly.
It can happen. As long as you got breath in your body, it can happen. So, yeah, but for years I would say, I ain't never have a broken bone. No. Yeah, but, okay, so, okay. So, let's see. Number 10, for those listening who feel broken, weary, or ready to quit, what's your final word of encouragement that you would give them? Because God is still writing their story and has them in the palm of his hands.
I think the one thing, if I would say one thing to share with them, is to realize that, one, you don't quit. You keep pushing forward. It's the old thing that you got to praise and pray your way out.
Yeah.
Of issues and trouble and things that you're dealing with. And when you pray your way out, it doesn't mean that the road is not going to be hard. It doesn't mean that the way is not going to be hard. It just means that you're going to have a way and a process of dealing with it. Trouble comes, and that's an old saying. I would say trouble come, but trouble don't last always.
Yeah.
No, trouble's going to come.
Yeah.
Definitely. The statements that we say in church, sometimes we don't add the additional words or meaning to them. When it says, that no weapon formed against me shall prosper. Okay, we want to jump right to the fact that, hey, there's no weapon formed against us going to prosper. But you skip the part that the weapon is formed against you, which means trouble's going to come. Trouble don't last always. It's going to come.
It's going to come. It may not last, but it's going to come.
It's going to come. And so what I've learned is in the midst of all that, and in the midst of the trouble, there's a way that you're able to deal with the trouble. Trouble doesn't mean always pain, agony, and defeat. It means that the process of getting where you want to go is not going to be easy. The road may be paved smooth, but it doesn't mean you're going to have a smooth ride. Because sometimes that paved under smooth, there's some lumps in it. There's some things. So I don't want to get into that preaching mode, but we gotta get out of our stuff. And the old saying, I'll close with this. It says, when you find yourself in a hole, stop digging. See, and what I mean by that is, the more you dig while you're in that hole, the deeper you get. You're making the hole deeper.
Yep. The more you dig, the deeper you get.
Exactly.
Wow. Okay, and number 11. How has your view of prayer evolved over your lifetime?
Oh, I think prayer has, my understanding of prayer has deepened. My use of prayer has expanded. And the power of prayer I've seen in my life actually move things out of the way.
Wow.
I have grown to trust more and more in prayer. And then the more I pray, the more I understand the need that I need to pray.
Yep.
And prayer is not for anybody else but me.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, and let me see. What's one legal principle that you've experienced that has perfectly paralleled a biblical truth?
I think it would be dealing with guilt and innocence. That just because I'm guilty doesn't mean that I'm forgotten.
That's deep. That is deep.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's it. And the story behind it is, I had one gentleman that I told him, I said, look me dead in my eyes. You tell me whether you're innocent, guilty, whether you did this crime or not. He says, I did it. I'm guilty. And he lowered his head and looked down at the floor. And I told him right there, I said, no, you pick your head up. I said, I don't sit in a seat of judgment. I said, but you got to pick your head up, and you cannot allow what you did to define who you are.
Yeah.
Okay? He did that, and he picked his head up. I said, now you got to start processing how you're going to live your life.
Wow. That's deep. So he's not to let what he did. Basically, he's not to let what he did in the past affect his future.
Right.
Wow.
Just because you're guilty of something.
Yeah.
That doesn't define who you are.
Yeah.
Okay. That's what it comes down to.
Wow, that is. You dropping some gems. Okay.
I only do what what I use in my own life and how I process situations.
Yeah.
We can all learn. We can learn from every situation that we're in.
Mm-hmm. Indeed. Okay, and now I'm gonna do my bonus but God reflection questions.
Okay.
Can you recall a story that reflects the realities from the past that you just knew that God had been involved because your situation changed? Number 1, something from the past 3 to 5 years of your life.
I think it's the surgery and dealing with the MRSA, which is a highly effective bacterial infection.
Okay.
And the doctors had said, I told my sister to call the family in, that if I make it through the night, I would live, but I would have a hard road ahead of me. But they weren't sure whether I was gonna die or live through the night.
Wow. And
the power of prayer, not only did it change my medical outcome, it changed my spiritual outcome. It increased my faith in the power of prayer.
Yeah. And
then it also gave me a sense of fight.
Exactly. Because you realized that it was nothing but prayer that got you through. That was my part of my story too, because the surgeon that did my life-saving brain surgery to remove the birth defect, he was a praying man, and he prayed before he did the surgery, and after he did it, he came out and told the family that he had did all he could, and now it was in God's hands. But God uses people to save people. He not coming down out the sky no more. So it was all in men's hands. And from that point, when men had did all they could, it was up to God. God has the final say.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's just understanding that and having that sense of faith and standing on that faith.
Exactly. Yep. Okay. And let me see. So a memory from your young adult and teen years where you just knew that God had been involved because your situation changed.
I think it's going to be just the overall trajectory of life. That had I stayed around family and friends in the neighborhood that I grew up in, the culture in itself would have had a stronger impact on me than what I even realized that it would have.
Wow.
But I had to get away from the environment in order to do what God had for me to do. I had to get away from the people that I was around.
Yes.
That's I think the way that I can say it that helps the most. I'll put it like that.
Yeah. And you know what? It's funny you say that, because while I was waiting for you to call me back to finish the interview, I was looking at one of my favorite YouTubers, Gail from Jamaica. And she was saying that now, Jamaica just had a Category 5 storm.
Right.
There are people who decided to book a trip to Jamaica in the off season, Mind you, it's hurricanes, it's tornado season everywhere. They decided to book a trip to Jamaica during this time because it was cheaper. It was off season. Instead of going when the tickets were, when it's in season and no tornadoes or hurricanes are in sight. They decided because of their budget to go now. Yeah. And now the Jamaicans who are in the hotels, and it tore that island up. So they don't know, they're having to juggle. They don't know how they family doing but they having to take care of all these people in this hotel, and they saying these how do I say it? We meaning Black Americans are privileged and not being considerate of the situation that's going on. They don't want they don't want the food that they serving, and it's like y'all don't realize what has happened. That's a major catastrophe. It tore that island up. These people don't know how their family's doing, or if they do know, they still gotta do their job and take care of you, and their families are waiting. They can't go home and deal with whatever needs to be taken care of with their families. They gotta be there at work to deal with. They gotta do their job to make sure you're safe. And they complaining about the food. Then they had to, because it's like they booked up to a certain amount of hotel, and they like, this not a hostel. So they having to put certain people out. It's like, okay, you only paid up to this time. You got to go. It's not what do you call it? A shelter.
Right, exactly.
And they just like, how you gonna put us out? We ain't got nowhere to go. It's like, you gonna have to figure it out.
You got to go someplace.
Exactly, but you can't stay here. Wow. And then they had an attitude because, it's like they had to bring everybody into like a ballroom or something in the inside of a hotel. Not in a ballroom. They need not their rooms, because most hotel rooms have windows. And they had to bring them out of their rooms into like the center of the hotel in a ballroom or something. And they complaining, well, why I can't be up in my room? The storm is over. It's like, look, they had to account for everybody, and it's easier to take care of everybody in one room rather than you being in the comfort of your hotel room upstairs.
Right.
And it's like they just being unreasonable. It's like, be realistic.
Yep. Oh, I got you 100%.
It's like, be considerate. These people ain't seen their families, or if they have, they can't help take care of their families or what they need because they got to be at work to make money and help. They doing the best they can for you.
What best they can with what they got.
Exactly. They doing the best they can with what they got, and they just being unappreciative. Yeah. Okay, and another memory of something you either remember or were told about yourself when you were a child, toddler, or infant, where you just knew God had stepped in, he had been involved because the situation changed.
When I was 13, I was having just massive stomach pains, and the pains were so strong that I would pass out just from the pain.
Wow.
My parents kept taking me to the emergency room and to doctors, GI doctors. And in particular, one night, went to Valdez General Hospital. The doctor on staff at the emergency room call was Dr. Saison Lee, SS Lee. He came and talked to us, and I remember he said, look, we know something's going on. We can't see it or figure out, but we know something's happening. And he asked my parents if they would give him permission to do exploratory surgery.
Wow.
And they said, yes, we are at our wits' end. We don't know what else to do.
Yeah.
So he did exploratory surgery June 1975. It was a Wednesday. He found a tumor that was hiding on the backside of the stomach and connected to the pancreas.
Whoa.
Called insulinoma. This tumor was secreting insulin more than what my body could take. That's what was causing the pain and the passing out. So he told him he would need to do a surgery to remove it. So he scheduled a surgery. He removed the tumor. When he removed it, part of my stomach had to have some plastic. And this is 1975, okay? Mm-hmm. So we don't have all the great technology we have right now.
Yeah.
So I'm cut open probably 12, 13 inches of a scar all the way up across my stomach. It laid me open like a pig, I say.
Wow.
Removed it, did what I needed to do, the plastic on the inside, protected it, closed it back up. Was in the hospital.
What was the plastic for?
Do what?
What was the plastic for?
Because when they removed the tumor, they had to remove part of my stomach.
So you don't have part of your stomach?
Part of it was plastic. It's been that way since I was 13. Okay.
Wow.
So as I'm in recovery, there's a young man there that had been burned over 75% of his body. Him and his brother were playing, and the gasoline tank, the fumes blew up, and he got burned.
Wow. Okay?
Now remember, this is 1975.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, I met my cousins when I went home in North Carolina to visit.
Mm-hmm.
I met my cousins, and the guys were sitting out there, by the fire, and we were shooting the bull and talking. One of the guys said, "Wait a minute. You say your name is Joe Connelly?"
Mm-hmm.
He said, "Were you in the hospital in 1975? It was that guy. We hadn't seen each other since then."
Oh, wow.
So we took pictures. We had just a great conversation of remembrance. And he had gone on, went to the military, retired from the military, all this stuff, I went to Korea in 2021 to try to find the family. I knew I couldn't find Dr. Lee, but to find his family, to let them know that I was an American that he had operated on, and his operation saved my life.
Wow. Did you find him?
What I did not realize is there were thousands of SS Lees and Lee families in South Korea. But
yeah, because that's a common name.
Yeah, and that was an experience because once the South Koreans found out that I was ex-U.S. military, I could not pay for any food. I was pushed to the front of the line in all the restaurants.
Oh, wow.
Because they had such a high regard for U.S. military, because it was the U.S. military in the Korean War that stopped the North Koreans from coming in and taking over.
Wow.
So based upon this surgery, I'm going to give thanks to Dr. Lee, but I was given thanks by the South Koreans because of what military guys had done before me.
Oh, wow. Whew.
Yeah.
That is amazing. But God.
But
God.
Exactly.
Yep. So you don't have a story? You don't have anything about yourself when you were a child, toddler, or infant?
Well, I was 13. When I was an infant, a toddler, I will say this. I was probably 18 months, 2 years old. I walked early. I was walking at 7 months, my mom said.
Whoa.
But they could not, and I would end up in the bed with my mom and my dad. At nighttime. I'd come in dragging my pillow and be there sleeping in their bed. And they couldn't figure out what was going on and how. I'm getting out of the baby bed, okay? So one night, my mom says, my dad says, he's gonna watch me. So he goes, and they shut the door, and they left it cracked enough to look in. What he realized is I had learned how to take my pillow from the baby bed, slide it right down, put it right by the edge of the bed, climb over, and just slide down the baby bed bars, land on the pillow, get up and walk in their room. And my mama said, my dad said, "Dan, there ain't nothing that this boy puts his mind to that he won't be able to do." He said that then, and I that's how I live my life now.
You know what? I'm laughing because me and my husband experienced that exact same story with our daughter. Our daughter, who's now 14, when she was a baby, we couldn't figure out how she was getting out of her room. Because we put her in her baby bed and would leave her in there and we go in the room. And she'd come in our room. And it's like, how did you get out of your bed? So we put her back in her bed, closed the door, and was standing at her door with it cracked so we could watch her. Do you know? She was doing just that, like you say. She had figured out how to climb, put her leg over the rail, and let herself down by holding onto the bars.
Yep.
And then she'd walk on out of the room.
Come on out of the room.
I was like, wow, we couldn't believe it. And it was like, that was, like I say, I have three older kids. None of them ever did that. But she's amazing. And you're amazing. Because it's that's who does that? How old were you when you was doing that?
I was a baby, like 18 months, right around there. I started walking early. I was walking at 7 months, they said.
Yeah. And see, I don't know exactly when she started walking, but this was probably when she was like 18 months old too. Yeah. But wow. Amazing. And I know your parents were just dumbfounded. Like, that's how
they ain't know how in the world.
Because, like I say, we couldn't believe. I was like, how is she getting out of that bed and coming in here? And we didn't hear her crying, so we know she wasn't, crawling over and falling on the floor. Yeah. Exactly. No, she was strategic. She put her leg over the bars and let herself down, holding on to the rails. I was like, no, sir.
Yep, that's it. That's how I did it.
Wow. Yeah, but God, y'all covered. Y'all are covered from the beginning all the way to now. Yes. Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow. Well, thank you, sir. I appreciate you taking this time.
Amen.
Would you mind praying us out?
Yeah, let's pray. Gracious God, we thank you for this time we've been together, oh God, to learn, to laugh, to pray, to give thanks.
Yes.
God, we thank you for the ability to reach out and reach others through telecommunication.
Yes.
Now, God, just be with this program. Let it be a blessing unto others. Oh God, let us always remember that no weapon formed against us shall prosper. It's just going to attack us. We thank you, O God, for the ability to stand in the midst of trials and tribulations and call on you and show forth your power. In Christ, your Son's name, we pray. Who is our rock, our Redeemer, our brother, and our friend, we pray. In his name, amen.
Amen. Amen. Well, thank you, sir. It's been a pleasure. And
no problem.
May you enjoy the rest of your day.
All right.
All right. Stay blessed.
All right. Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.